Hi, it's October 6th, 2020, and time to look at the Albuquerque real estate market data, plus a little bit of my opinion, which I don't know. I think it's worth something. I watch this every single day, what's going on in the real estate market in Albuquerque and around the country, because all of that stuff trickles down into our local economy. I've been very fascinated and after going through what happened in 2007, 8, 9, and the quote housing bubble, I've been very much interested in trying to see how this is all going to shake out. So let's look at some information here. I've got a couple different charts and data I want to show you. First and foremost, let me see if I can do this right. So this is number of homes on the market over the last 3 years, and this is the September data. This is the number of homes on the market, and so that's, can't see it here, but 54% less inventory than 2019. 2019 was 19% less than 2018. So that's one of the big stories, is low supply, meaning, not as many people have their homes on the market, and high demand. So let's look at some of the data here. Oh, some more data. This is pending sales, and the reason I want to bring this up is to look at some of the seasonality and how this market has shifted over the years. If you look at historically, we're just back 3 years, but this goes back forever. Is March, April, May, March, April, May, March, April, May, June, July. So your busiest month for pending sales. These are homes that are on the market and go under contract. The day it goes under contract, that is the day it is pending. Usually the closing is another 30 to 45 days out. So this is a good indicator of, how many closings we're going to have in the future. If you look at this year, of course, we actually started out very strong. January, February was very strong. In February, we were already looking at going, okay, boy, we don't have enough homes on the market. There's, an undersupply and a high demand. And then, of course, the wheels came off the train, right? And so in April, we still had almost 1,000 pendings. And March and April obviously slowed down, but then you come to May, and, there we go, off to the races. All-time high number of pendings. June, again, all-time high number of pendings. July came back a little bit. August came back up again. But usually by August, September, the number of pendings has started to decline. So what's happened is all of that activity that was kind of postponed in March, April has now been pushed to this time of year. Now, we're still seeing strong buyer demand. The number of people out there that are applying for mortgages is still very strong. I look at that data from the Mortgage Bankers Association. We're also looking at foot traffic. That's the number of people actually touring homes. The numbers are down on that. Part of that is because we have 55% less inventory than a year ago. So less to look at. But let's just look at prices and how they've changed in the last few years here. So this is the 3-year trend of average price. Average price has been pushed up a lot. And a lot of that has to do with not actually appreciation, but the fact that just lower priced homes are just not lower priced homes on the market. There's not as many selling. If you look at it from September this year, September last year, it's up 12%. I'm going to put this on a 12-month rolling, which means we're taking a 12-month appreciation in average prices. This is not true home price appreciation, but this average price. Average prices have gone up 7.8% over the last year. And if you look at the median price, 9.5%. If you look at the price per square foot, which is where is it? There it is. This is kind of my preferred method to gauge how home prices are actually appreciating. How much movement have we had in the actual, if it's the same house a year later when it sells, how much has that price changed? Price per square foot across all price ranges in this case is up 7.9%, about 8%. That's over the last year. And if we look at this just in a 3-month chart, if you took the 3 months, let's see, it would be July, August, September last year versus July, August, September this year, up 9%. So we've definitely had some price movement. One of the things we're seeing, and anybody in the real estate business, you guys know that are watching this, that the number of homes that are in those lower price points that are in great condition, ready to go. Really high demand for those homes. When they come on the market, we're seeing multiple offers. We're seeing bids up over list price, which has increased. So let me show you the data on that one. This one's kind of interesting. Where is it? It's percent of list price to final sale price. So for the first time that I've ever seen in our market, and that goes back a long time, and I don't have any data back past like year 2000, but we've never seen it where the average list price to sell price is at 100%. If you go back and look at the chart going back many years, you can see it's always, 97, 98. I wonder if this goes back to, so this goes back to 2003. And so even then, well, yeah, look at that. So there was a time back in 05 where we were, seeing that again. Okay, so now you're going, here we go again. We've got a bubble building. The market's gonna, prices are getting pushed up as high as they've ever seen. Buyers are in a frenzy to get homes. Well, and there's this quote overhang of the forbearance issue. I'm going to pause and pull up another chart here. So I'm back here. I pulled up a different chart to look at the forbearance situation. So if you're not familiar with what's going on, back at the beginning of the pandemic, there was some government intervention that allowed people that were affected by the pandemic to, quote, go into a forbearance plan on their home mortgage. Most everybody can qualify for that, at least, not every single mortgage, but all of the government-backed mortgages, which are most of the mortgages, have that, as well as some of the private companies that hold mortgages. So a lot of people went into that. Good news is a lot of people are already out of that plan. The big question has been, okay, there's these millions of people that are in these forbearance plans that haven't been able to pay their mortgage. We keep seeing stats about high delinquency rate. But remember, when you see those stats about high delinquency rate, which it is, and it's as high as it was back in the day, but the difference now is that a lot of those people, a good portion of those people, are in a forbearance plan, which means once they are able to start repaying their mortgage, they can just take up where they left off. So what happens is all of their basically fees get pushed to the back of the mortgage. A lot of people, again, like I said, have exited that plan. But the more important thing, and this is just one data point. Remember, there's tons of data. And so if you see stories with one headline and one data point, remember there's always more to the story. But what I want to show you here is the number of people that are in forbearance plan and where they are with the equity in their home. And just to break it down, I'm right in the way, of all the loans in forbearance, again, by different things, by the GSEs, Fannie and Freddie, FHA, VA, and then these are the private lenders. All loans in forbearance, 9% have less than 10% equity in their home, and only 1% are actually negative equity in their home. That's a very different situation in 2008, without a doubt. So the good news is those people that may have to force to sell their home, which would just be awful, they may be able to do that and just move on. They don't have a foreclosure on their record. They're able to get back on their feet and go on. So the good news is they'll be able to just sell their home. This whole idea of flood of inventory coming on the market and driving prices down, currently, honestly, we could use a flood of inventory right now in the market as long as the buyer demand stays the same. So there's just so much to talk about this, and just remember that if you see one little snippet, one little headline, one little piece of data, that it's not going to tell you the whole picture. There's so much going on in the real estate market, and I'll just assure you, know that the way things are now versus 2008 are so different. So different. Home equity, the strength of loans that are on the book, the government intervention that is helping and helping people through this, the amount of data like this that we didn't have back then. The ability to actually track what's going on is just hundredfold what it was back then. So a lot of good things happening. And in that sense, if you're concerned about the quote housing bubble. So we'll see how it shakes out. But at this point, and this is just me talking, I'm talking for all the different housing economists that I read on a daily basis. Most everybody is pretty bullish on the real estate market right now. Thanks for watching. If you ever want to talk real estate data, give me a shout. This is Tigo Venturi Realty Group, Keller Williams Realty.